Rolling down the streets in my kingfish. King Tubby on my woofer, yes I'm in this. Rolling down the streets in my kingfish. Bob Marley on my woofer, yes I'm in this. Hey. No message, ain't got no message. No message, no message, no message, ain't got no message. No message, don't have no message. Say nothing, I am saying nothing. Say nothing, I ain't saying nothing. Say nothing, ain't saying nothing. Say nothing, saying nothing. Rolling down the streets in my kingfish. King Tubby on my woofer, yes I'm in this. Rolling down the streets in my kingfish. Bob Marley on my woofer, yes I'm in this. Hey. Everybody wants to be entertained. Tell me how's it going? They all sound the same. Keeping hope alive. Yes we can't. When I kill a man, he won't feel no pain. Musical gangsters, murderers, probably you never heard of us. Whenever I am rolling up, they're getting nervous. Cause right next to the truth, they just looking so ridiculous. Had to start doing things myself, cause everyone else is fucking up. Rastafari on my woofers, yeah, my woofers. Rastafari on my woofers, yeah, my woofers. Rastafari on my woofers, yeah, my woofers. The youths of today don't say nothing. Real gangsters press no trigger, we press button. Hey. See the youths don't say nothing. Real gangsters press no trigger, we press buttons. Hey. Rolling down the streets in my kingfish. King Tubby on my woofer, yes I'm in this. Rolling down the streets in my kingfish. Bob Marley on my woofer, yes I'm in this. Hey. Rolling down the streets in my kingfish.
Welcome back to Global Village. I'm Buddy Kurana. Tonight's topic is all about the arts and Manila Biennale. And joining us still is Dagny Ayay, and she is the marketing director of Art Plus magazine. And with her is famous French, soon-to-be Manila-based artist Henri Lamy. Welcome back, Dagny, of course. Henri, welcome. And nice to have you here. And interesting video we saw of you, huh? What was going on there? Maybe we can talk about that video that we aired before we came on.
Oh, masaya ako din nakilala mo.
Oh.
But yeah,
Surprised you can speak Filipino already, huh?
I don't. Subukan lang ako.
Okay.
But yeah, to tell you about this performance of capoeira painting, we actually used the capoeira, the Brazilian martial art, to have an interaction between two people in a cage. So the cage is both made to protect from the paint flickerings all around amongst the people who watch the performance, and also to free up all of your senses so that you can express yourself in that dual interaction.
So not be inhibited by the paint flying around. You can just go crazy basically and just express yourself.
And then we decided to link up with capoeira, because I was both doing capoeira and painting since I was a kid. So these are the two. This is why I decided to join them.
Interesting.
Both ways of expressing.
Are many artists doing this capoeira art? Because you're the only one I've heard of doing it.
Not so many. I must say also, amongst the first times that I was visiting the Philippines, I've met with lots of kids on the beach and in the countryside that they're doing tumbling. And this is so interesting to me because it's how I got to know them and interact with them. So I would just come to them. At that time, I would not been able to speak Tagalog or even English, and would play around with them, walking on my hands or doing backflips and stuff. So that was the genesis.
Very nice. Henri, let's talk about your background and what brought you to the Philippines. How long have you been in the art scene, and what got you into arts?
I've always been in arts. My father used to be a painter. Okay. Later on, I entered an art squad in Paris, a building full of artists that was open to public, that then the city decided to buy. So this is where I started to sell my first artworks. There were lots of visitors because it's in the center of the city, and the building is quite unusual. So when people look at it, they directly want to enter. And then I've kept in mind...
It's next to an H&M.
Good. You have the foot traffic right there.
Yes.
Next to H&M. Perfect.
Exactly. And McDonald's. And then after I wanted to, like I've always had in the back of my mind that I could create a similar place. So it helps artists to showcase their works. They don't necessarily have to to pass through a gallery, although they still could because it's legit in that field.
Yes.
We don't want to revolutionize everything, but we just want to have an approach to arts that is a bit more down to earth, and that everyone is able to access that building. You don't necessarily need to be dressed properly, and also once you get to enter, you interact with the artists because you see them in the process of creation, which is very important for me.
Very nice. And I've seen your videos on YouTube, and including the one that we just showed. And apparently that was shot in Sydney, in Australia.
Yeah, also.
And it seems that you do a lot of community-based, engagements. No, is that part of your thrust as an artist? Just get down there among the people and
It came just as the Filipino kids on the beach, very naturally, as we were trying to. When I say we, I'm talking about my two personalities, but it's still me. We were trying to find ways to help artists to find the purpose in the society, and what better purpose than to contribute. If socially speaking, and when we sell an artwork, we can give a share to charity foundations, stuff like that.
Yes.
If of course we have lots of time that we dedicate to our personal work so that we can come up with new series of arts, but in the meantime we're also able to give free workshops in different
Very good.
foundations such as Stairway Foundation or Zobel Foundations that we are going to visit this weekend in Calatagan, or many others, Verlani, who's French, Akai, who went to Tondo and painted the whole building with our friends that we brought from France. So that's about it, trying to find a purpose to the artists so that they can both grow in their own practice and also be useful to the community.
Yes. Does your art have any social change aspect to it? Because arts can be a powerful medium to change people, change society, change the world. No? Do you have that angle when you do your art?
When it comes to politics, I'm not super well informed, but I think I have my own way to see life, which in the same extent as what I was describing earlier, also consists in lots of spontaneity, lots of going with the flow. That's the kind of way that I'm trying to pursue, so that I can have an impact on how the world can be different.
Very good, very good. Now, it's interesting because you spoke Filipino earlier. How long have you been in the Philippines or traveling back and forth between France and the Philippines?
5 taon. Pero biyahe lang, hindi nakatira dito ako.
Very good. Très bien. C'est bon, c'est bon.
Tapos na, hindi kailangan ng marunong Tagalog.
My question for you, Henri, is how do you find the Philippine art scene? How do you find Filipinos? I mean, do you feel? I mean, you've been coming here quite often, so I assume that you found some sort of connection with this country, a very meaningful, deep connection already. Yeah?
I did, of course. I found a wife in Maya de Bouville. Her sister is also artist, and she's this one.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, Dagny, let's show the magazine, and you are on the cover of to this month's issue of Art Plus magazine.
November, December.
Yeah, this is the latest.
Yes,
this
the
is
latest.
This is the latest issue of
That's
Art
issue
Plus
53.
magazine, and that's Dagny in front.
No,
I mean,
no,
this is
that's
this is Henri in front, and your better
Mrs.
half
Henri.
beside you.
Maya. Yes.
And the title is Ugnayan sa Poblasyon. What is this about, Dagny?
Well, he would best talk about that,
Henri?
of their project with
Yes. It
Poblacion
says
Makati.
Taverne Gutenberg, Ugnayan sa Poblasyon.
So Taverne Gutenberg is the art center that we founded in France in 2015. Since then, we have exhibited 400 artists from all over the world. Actually, we're now welcoming one, all expenses paid, everything, who's called Leroy New. So he's going to stay 2 months there. He's one of the best Filipinos artists at the moment. And to answer the question that you're asking previously, what I found in the Philippines
Yes.
is lots of people. Also, I think I've changed coming here. I'm not exactly the same that I used to be when I was in France. But yeah, I find a friend, a potential friend, in whatever person that I cross path with in here. I don't know why, but things seems to be so easy and natural when I'm amongst you guys.
How do you find the local art scene?
Very rich, very diverse. Lots of even in the style,
Yes.
there's not so many sober or neutral or whatever. Although I could right now think of Gus Albar, who's very um, conceptual and
Yes.
minimalist.
Yes.
But aside from him, I've seen lots of rich arts which I really enjoyed.
Yes,
Um,
we were just talking about with Dagny in the first segment. We were talking about, I asked her how is it difficult to fill up a magazine with content about art, no? And she said there's always something happening here in the Philippines, and I have to agree. I mean, there's always an exhibit, a performance, and there's an untapped, really, I would like to say, kind of underground art scene that not too mainstream, but which people like you through your magazine can help bring out, no? And I hope, Henri, with your performances, wow, capoeira. And
there are lots of
wow.
artists in the Philippines, lots of artists in this beautiful magazine that Art Plus is. Lots of artists that we also, us in our studio of the ruins, thankfully given by our partner Z Hostel. We have now that space in the center of in Makati where we can showcase artists, and we also have a nice studio space, a lanai, so we paint outside. There's no aircon, and all of the visitors are welcome to enter. We also give them paint and paint brushes so they can
Wow.
cover the walls and the
Okay.
floor with their own imprint, their own.
Yes, yes. And this is a space called
Specificity.
Z Hostel.
Z Hostel is the partner,
Yes,
but the
in
place
Makati.
is called the Ruins.
Okay.
Where the cover
Okay.
was shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Interesting. So it's a hostel and an art space at the same time.
Well, it's a space
is.
that they
It
turned
really-
into an art space.
in an art space,
When
huh?
it's occupied by artists, it's now an art space.
So
Yeah.
you have to keep in mind that idea of art using temporary spaces as ways to communicate with the different type of audiences. Here, that building is being bought by someone, and in the meantime, we're there. That meantime can someone last for a year.
Yeah, yeah. And it is a continuity of what you said earlier, that people don't need to go to formal art gallery to experience and enjoy wonderful art. You have all these independent spaces that you guys turn into art spaces, and everyone has good fun.
I think it's great to have diversity. So I'm definitely okay with the art galleries and the museums. I'd like to also see more community spaces, artist-run spaces, stuff like that, art residencies. But it's good to have a panorama of, huge variety of different
Yes.
entities.
What are your plans, Henri, for the next? I understand that you have been a frequent visitor to the Philippines, but you're spending more and more time here, and soon to be based here in the Philippines. You plan to really, make this your base in Asia, for at least, no?
Exactly. My goal, as you've understood, I was talking a lot about the places that an artist can settle in, is to have more places like that and doing more residencies on a personal point of view. I'm also traveling different places outside of the Philippines to do art residencies. So spending some time somewhere, given a month to achieve a series of artworks, and then moving somewhere else. Or sometimes spending more time, but it's also good on the artistic point of view to refresh the perspectives.
Definitely, definitely. To just get a new environment every now and then, to just recharge and that sort of thing, no? Aside from Manila, which other place in the Philippines have grabbed you?
Mindoro.
Mindoro, huh?
Yeah.
What
Because-
is about Mindoro?
Well, my in-laws, they organized the Malasimbo Music and Art Festival there. And we're also planning to have more art activities in the next month happening. This is a crazy landscape. We're on top of the mountain with lots of
We
coconut
have a
trees
beautiful
around us.
location there.
Really, yeah? Okay.
And so every year, this year is going to be 25th of March. The festival is taking place. You have lots of good artists from all over the world who come to perform. But there's also the art part, which is very important. Each time, about 30 artists being invited and doing installation works all around the property. What I want to do this time is to have all of the festival goers participate to an action, because I like collaborative.
Yes, yes.
And then this is all mounted up we'll make another installation.
Very
And
nice.
probably show the capoeira painting or
I hope that
stuff
one of
like
these
that.
days, because I'm also from Baguio. I mean, I'm from Manila, but I have home in Baguio, and I hope that one of these days you can also. Have you been to Baguio? It's probably
Hindi
one of
pa
the most
punta.
artsy places. One of the most artsy places in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Vibrant art scene as well, and very an atmosphere very conducive to the arts in Baguio. Have you been up to the up
Hindi pa.
north? Oh well,
You have
should
to
come one of these
invite me.
days. Definitely.
I'll be happy to visit.
Dagny, what are you guys doing Art Plus to support artists like Henri?
Well, you know, I mentioned the partnerships earlier. That's
Yes.
how that's how Art Plus first came across Henri at the Malasimbo several years ago. Because the family of his in-laws, the Dabovilles, well, Olivia Daboville is also established artist. She makes beautiful work with cloth. And then we came across him during that festival. So it's essentially a music festival, but with an art component, I guess, because of Olivia to begin with, right? And so we came across him there. And what was the question? Did I miss it?
I mean, in Art Plus magazine, what are you guys doing to support artists like
well,
Henri?
there. So
Yeah.
whenever they're creating new art in whatever field, we make sure we put it on our cover because it creates conversation, it creates discussion. You know, people get invited to shows to talk more about it. And as long as there's noise about art, then people will also keep producing. It's reciprocal.
And to reach the, of course, you have a print magazine. You have something like a hard copy. How are you on social media? Because a lot of art these days, especially avant-garde artists like our friend here, a lot of it is really social media. No, I mean, that's the way to connect with people these days. Are you on social media heavy?
I am. I think nowadays, as you say, we are becoming more and more numerous on this planet. There's 6 billion inhabitants, and if you wanna spread the word, you have to, according to me, use a multi-channel strategy or something. But express yourself on all of these social media, press, TV, whatever. It's important.
Yes, and we have a big event coming. I mean, a big event currently, the Manila Biennale, and I understand your magazine is also playing a big role here. Anri's going to be here for the third segment with Tessa, and we're going to talk about the Biennale this time. But your magazine is hosting one of the main events. I understand. No?
Yes, well, like as I mentioned, we partner with every single art event out there, you know. So, like we did with Malasimbo, so Manila Biennale is a big art event, and we're there to talk about what's going on. And for the last day, it's a 1-month festival with visual arts and live arts. And on the last day, which is on it comes down on the 5th of March. But on the 4th, we're doing a closing reception and doing a final tour of all the arts there. So, yeah, we'd like everybody to come. Mark your calendars.
And then, okay, we've come to the end, almost the end of our second segment. We'd like to say something to the audience, maybe plug Art Plus magazine. Tell them where to find this.
Okay, Art Plus is available in all national bookstores, all fully booked. If you don't want to buy an issue, you go to a Starbucks and read one for free. Although I noticed after a few weeks it's not there anymore, so people take it
That's
home.
a good sign.
So just
That's a good sign.
Yeah, but you can
maybe.
buy it and go to
It
national
means people
bookstore.
like it, huh? It's bring homeable.
Yes. Follow us on Instagram. That's Art Plus Mag. And we're on Facebook and we have a website. Our next cover will be Juan Luna. We're talking about artists. It's not just the contemporary scene. Juan Luna is arguably the most famous
the most
Filipino.
famous, the
Yes,
Filipino
he
artist.
has an exhibit
yes.
going on in Singapore. And there's talk that there are negotiations ongoing because this piece is is part of the collection of in Madrid. So
Really? Nice.
yes, there's negotiations going on that coming from Singapore to bring it to Manila.
Very
So
nice, very nice.
That's news
So it's
for
the
us.
first time many Filipinos will probably see it, right? This piece, this
Yes,
Juan
most.
Luna piece.
Yes,
this
because even
masterpiece.
in Madrid, it's not always on show also.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they-
we'll certainly be looking forward to that.
so buy the copy, go to a Starbucks and read the copy. And
But leave it in Starbucks so people can read it again.
yes, exactly. But yeah, buy a copy. It'll help. We're a very small team running this magazine, and so buy a copy, advertise with us, and help keep Art Plus going.
Dagny, thank you so much for coming to the show, and congratulations again on 54 issues of Art Plus magazine,
you.
10 years, and good luck in the next 10 years. And I'm not going to say goodbye to you yet because you stick around for Tessa. We're going to be talking about Manila Biennale. So thank you, Dagny.
Yes, thank you.
And guys, stick around because more of arts and Manila Biennale when Global Village returns.